Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Plum Figgy. This is Tammy. All right, so we're working on signature number 2 of this bingo junk journal today. And here is the last page of signature 1 where we left off last time. I was just trying to figure out what I wanted to put in that big pocket. I thought maybe folding that letter head there would be good to slip in, but I think it was just a little bit too big and I didn't really want to cut it down. So found a journaling card instead. And then I thought, oh, well, maybe it could work on the first page of the second signature. So working with the colors on that bingo card, it's kind of an olive bingo card with bright orange dauber paint. So that one was a little bit tricky to work with, but I think that navy blue floral page looks pretty good with it. And then I wanted to include some of these sketchy, what are they, like 50s, 60s, kind of kitchen-y designs, mid-century modern, basically. So decided to create another big pocket using that. And then here I'm just trying to figure out how to kind of cover some of this and still match with the first signature last page. And I think this red sticker worked pretty good for that. So those were some little postcards that came in the flow book for paper lovers. And so I decided that this one would be pretty good to cover that little page there. You can still see some of the bingo card peeking out, but I thought it looked really nice for that. And then I wanted to, incorporate some of these lovely ladies. And here I'm just trying to cut the page so that I don't cut off too much without having to fussy cut, because I don't love to fussy cut. So if I can avoid that, then I will. But yeah, so just looking for another page that would work, trying to create some more writing space in here. So this is another piece of letter page that has some lines on it, and I thought that would work really well for covering this entire page. It's kind of cool to see the dauber paint on the back side of the pages, but this paper is somewhat thin. It's flimsy, so adding some extra paper to it is really kind of, I think, important, because it does need a little bit more stability. And so I do want to cover as much of it as I can, but still keeping enough so that you can kind of see what the actual paper originally was. So in the end, I decided to put that postcard in as a journaling card. And then now I'm just going to do a quick little collage. Had to find the absolute perfect girl for this page, but just wanted to use some of the elements that I had picked out originally and do a nice little collage here on the page with this girl. I really do love these little stamp sticker things. They're so much fun. Um, they're bright and colorful, and they really work well in this journal, I think. So here I'm kind of agonizing over what works on this other page. I'm trying to use up some of this ephemera here, and for whatever reason, nothing really seemed quite right. I like the houses, but in the end, I think I went with this instead. I thought it was a little bit more fun and just different and interesting. And really, the color of that number 8 worked really well with the color on the other side of the page. Yeah, so in the end, I'm really happy with what I ended up with here. And again, just a little bit of extra space for some more writing, or if you have little pictures that you want to add or whatever it might be, want to make sure and keep that included as much as I possibly can. Okay, so moving on to this next spread, there's an awful lot going on in the background here. So I'm probably going to, I am going to cover most of that with papers. And so the very first one that I laid down really is pretty busy, but I'm trying to get some plain color in there as much as I can so that it kind of knocks it back just a little bit. At least it gives you a rest for your eye, right? Because otherwise, all these patterns on top of each other can be a bit much. But yeah, so I really did like this polka dot with the, with the one on the left side, and then I thought, oh, that might be a perfect spot for a unicorn. thingy. So I decided to put that there. And then we've got a nice long, I guess maybe library pocket sized pocket there with the polka dots. And then again, adding a bit of a rest for your eyes and creating a pocket out of these girls that I had cut out from before. I really like this spread. I think it's so much fun. So here I'm really struggling with what to use for a journaling card to put into this pocket that I've made. None of the papers seem to really work the way that I want them to. It's all really busy or not quite right theme or whatever it might be. I think this one though is what I ended up with. I may come back to this. I think I might have just decided just to give up and come back later. And sometimes that's what you got to do. Uh, or maybe I didn't. I don't remember. It's been a bit since I did this one. But sometimes if you're stuck like that, it is easiest just to stop, move on. I mean, it's like taking a test too, right? If you're not sure of the answer, move on. Don't waste all your time. Come back later. And then by then, you might have different scraps on your table from, pages that you've already from what you've done since or whatever it might be. You have different inspiration. You see it in a different way, anything really. So, if you really find yourself stuck like that, don't give up. Just keep moving, keep going, and come back to it later. It will all work out in the end. And again, it's just a junk journal. It doesn't have to be perfect. We don't need to be perfect with these things. I find myself being a little too precious sometimes with it needs to be the absolute perfect thing. And in the end, it doesn't. It's fine. It's fine. You don't have to worry so much. Sorry, I'm really struggling with my glue here. I think it must have had some kind of almost dried up blob in there or something, and it just was not working for me. I was really having to struggle to get the glue out. On the other page, you did notice I did pull out my glue stick, and I did that because that craft paper was awfully wrinkly and it would have been really hard to write on. So sometimes if you encounter that situation, using glue stick rather than like an art glitter glue, will help kind of take some of those wrinkles out if you don't want all of them in there. Okay, so then on this page now, I'm just doing another little collage using some of the little bits and pieces that I have pulled out, and then decided to turn that happy card into a tuck spot, and then thought one of these little journaling cards would be perfect to fit in there. And again, we got a little bit of design paper on the background, a little bit busy back there, and using blocks of color kind of everywhere else to kind of not make it so crazy and busy. But again, I'm adding these little bits of pattern here and there as I can, because I think it really helps to just kind of keep it interesting. And I really enjoy mixing these patterns. I think it's so much fun. It's a little scary. I'm not gonna lie. It's a little scary because it's like, whoo, there's a lot. But at the end of the day, when everything's all done, it's like everything somehow kind of comes out really cool. And yeah, so I had a bunch of those little bitty scraps, and what are you going to do with those, right? But they work out well in this kind of situation where you kind of just need to fill a little bit of space and make it look a little interesting. And so that's what I ended up using them for here. And then we've got another busy pattern going on with that postcard. But it all works out in the end. So found a little sticker there to add, and I think, yeah, another girl. And I think this spread might be done after this. Okay, so in the end, I think I decided to still use that black and white pattern, but then I kind of covered a lot of it with some writing paper. I think that one had some dot grid on it. So there, now you get 2 journaling cards. All right, so moving on now. Again, another really busy background for a spread. And here I'm just trying to get these pages incorporated. I love the art of them so much. I think it's really fun and cool and different and interesting. And yeah, so they're really good for covering an entire page. And I can't remember if I made that into a pocket there or if I covered it completely and glued it all down. But again, adding some of this busy pattern, but I will knock that back with other things. So, or maybe I'm just doing the color. Oh, okay, that's what I did. I used the pattern as the flap for making a tuck spot. So, yep, this is the this is the spread that I used in my intro picture on the video. Now I'm remembering. So yeah, wanted to cover some more of that bingo card in the middle. It just wasn't working, the bright orange paint color. So decided to use one of those stickers again, and then this will be an easier page to design here. So ended up using 2 different stickers. The colors don't match, but that's okay. They're fun. I like it. trying to get that little dog on a page somewhere, but I didn't think that the colors worked quite right on it. So I will get him in there though. It may be the last signature, but I will get him in there. All right, so again, I'm just doing a little collage with some of the scrap papers, trying to work some of these colors in and make it look kind of interesting. Also doing that to kind of take away some of the busy pattern of that postcard, just to kind of, I guess, knock that back a little bit. I love that color, that dark, deep purple color. Really wanted to use that, but it did not really. Yeah, I did use it. I thought maybe I wouldn't have, but I did, thankfully. I thought maybe I wouldn't have because it didn't necessarily go with the page or the pattern on the background, but it does. So, you know. All right, so now back to some of this ephemera. Thinking I could use some of that space to do some more. That blue paint swatch was perfect. And then adding a label to get you a little bit of extra writing space if I could. Plus just it's blank space. So always good to have that. And you can still see some of the pattern of the postcard peeking through. That pattern was so busy that I just really kind of wanted to keep it there, but still kind of cover a lot of it too at the same time. I guess I decided to use this circle one instead, and then went ahead and glued that paint swatch down. I really like this. I think it's really fun. Different colors and everything. It's really cool. So again, I'm just looking through all the scraps that I've got, and deciding what pattern I want to use, and then from there, what colors from that pattern work as the rest of the background. And I really love this, I don't know, gold color. It's so pretty. And the green, I think, really goes well with it. And both of those colors are in this pattern in a way, especially the green. And so decided to make a belly band there and sacrifice that little cup, but the background, the back side of that cup was a really pretty little pink pattern, which again is in the opposite page as well. So yeah, so now I'm just like, I keep thinking, oh, I've got all these great stickers and I'm not using them. Same with the ephemera. I guess my brain was just kind of like, gotta use paper, gotta use paper. But here I'm just trying to come up with some kind of a cool little collage using the paper again and the sticker, and wanted to make enough writing space on the right side, but still have, that pocket there. And now I'm just kind of avoiding the left side of this spread because I don't really know what I want to do on that belly band. So I think, as you can see, I decided not to do anything and moved on. Might come back to it later. Here's another one where I love this page, but it just didn't work, the size of it, for the page that I was working in. So decided to cut it in half, and then I'll use it on either side of the spread. And then using some craft paper to kind of just make it a little bit more neutral. I felt like there was a lot of pages that were really busy, and maybe we need a little bit of a rest in here as well too. So doing a few spreads that are not quite as crazy busy with patterns and things. This one might be my favorite. I just really love the simplicity of it, but also just the colors are really soft and really soothing colors. So yeah, trying to get little pops of color in there to cover the bingo card a little bit more. I don't know about that orange. I guess it works, but I'm kind of surprised I pulled that that one out. It was a different color than I would have expected to use, but again, you don't really see it. I guess it matches the bingo card color, so that's kind of maybe where I was thinking there. But yeah, and this thing here, I wanted to use one of those. They're like a safety pin with a little flag on the top, and there's a few of them, and I wanted to use them, but I just, for whatever reason, wasn't remembering to, and decided that was a good page for one. Okay, so I think moving on to maybe our last spread for this signature, maybe one more. Again, I wanted to use this really cool, fun design of the cup and the pitcher and the saucer, and it's not quite the right size, so I will have to cut off some of it. But yeah, go ahead and enjoy watching this last one. Okay, I lied. I'm not going to use that one. The spread. I decided to do something different instead. I will use it on another one though, so don't worry about that. I found that light bulb piece of ephemera and decided to go that route instead, using this really fun background of the kind of like apartment building with people in all the windows and all that good stuff, and just decided to go with that instead. So we got a little bit of a pocket there, and I'll just do a little bit of a collage. So thank you again for joining me today. I really hope you enjoy coming along as I work through this second signature, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.